Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the 105 leFH18B2, the French Tier 5 Premium SPG. It's located on the southwest corner of Westfield, and it's under the command of graldebarantauro of the FYD clan.
Let's go.
Oh, we've got no sound, so let's restart that game and hopefully we will get the sound this time. And yes, we do get the sound. And the countdown's restarting. It's annoying that Wargaming still hasn't fixed a lot of problems that existed, well, maybe even 10 clients ago.
Let's go.
Now we've got the sound. Sometimes in some battles, I have to restart the file about a dozen times before I can actually play it. Just this evening, the E25 game I recorded, yeah, that wouldn't start before I'd actually done it about 30 times. And then I finally got it. It kept dumping the file and saying, nope, I'm not going to play that one for you. Anyway, graldebarantauro, you've seen him many times before. He's very good at what he does. He loves Arty. And let's see what he can do. He's in a tier 7 game. Now, of course, as you know, Fifi won't fire over the entire range of the map, and in fact aldebarantauro is actually pointing downwards on the position he's chosen, which means that he's actually restricting his range because the gun won't elevate to the maximum extent. But look at that, how accurate he is. First shot hits the SU-100 and deals him 136 hit points of damage. It's 410 alpha, 53mm of pen and 1.91 meters on the burst radius. It's a 105mm light field howitzer, one of the most produced Artys in the war by the Germans. It was a design from 1918, so it's a very old design, but it works. Oh, and he wiped him out! The SU-100 did take some damage, and I think you can see the tank is pointing downwards. So yeah, that will restrict your range. If you're on a flat surface, it will increase the range. So he's not able to fire over the entire range of the map, but if you move this tank towards the center of the map, it can fire over the entire range. This Arty has got a slightly restricted range. He's pulled himself back just a little bit, and I think he's actually corrected the pointing down bit. The elevation. Okay, Caro P88 and a Churchill 7 lands on the ground just behind him. Now the reason he pulled back in was because of this. He's got a Leopard coming in at close range, and now the Leopard is no more. Take that. Yes, he's very good at what he does. So the enemy Leopard never saw us because graldebarantauro pulled back into the bushes. He was completely hidden when he fired, and the Leopard didn't stand a chance. In fact, he was being spotted by the Challenger on our team up on the cliffs. Rounds out. Just missed. This is some distance away. There's about a 2 or 3 second delay. Rounds out. Close, but no, not there. So with 2 kills on his scoreboard so far, and remember, some of these are tier 7 tanks, which means he'll get extra XP when he does kill them. Rounds out the Caro. Yeah, this time round he does hit him, and the Caro is a tier 7. See, anticipate where he's going, put the shell in that spot. Close, very close. It's the best way of aiming at an enemy tank that's moving, is where you can see he keeps moving about a certain spot. You aim at a spot where you think he's going to go through, and then you hit him there. Okay, he's decided to move down a little because the enemy are actually retreating now back to their own cap area. Our Super Chaffee is now going near their cap area. And as we move about like here, we're actually making it easier for us to get shots on the enemy. The Super Chaffee just killed the enemy Bishop, and I think he's going after the other enemy Arty, the SU-122A. Okay, this is a good spot because we can duck into cover if we need to at any moment. But now he can shoot over the entire range. There's a T-29 there, and he just saw him for a brief moment. He'll fire a shot in, hopefully, I think, and he'll get a kill. We saw the M41 just plant a round in there. Instead, he's going to go for the Churchill 7, rather. Just misses. Okay, he's lost sight of them all now. Okay, the enemy has reappeared, and that T-29 is a one-shot. He only needs to land the round on the vehicle, and he will expire. He fires one in. Close. Very close. It landed directly in front of him on the tracks. It tracked him. Rounds out. And there you go. That's another kill. 3 kills, and that was the Tier 7 tank. Arguably the best Tier 7 tank in the game. Other than, of course, the premium ones. Okay, he's marked the Churchill 7. He's letting his teammates know, I'm going for that target. And he's getting solid hits, keeping this guy tracked. One more hit should be enough to take that guy out. And he does! 4 kills at Tier 7. Okay, the Caro will be nice if he can get it. He does get a hit. 30 hit points. Keep it up. Pick a spot. Round out. Perfect. Right on target. There's only 3 enemy vehicles remaining. This Caro's one of them, and he's being plastered. He goes down to the AT2 in the end. We gave that AT2 an easy kill. And now there's only 2 enemies remaining. The T-34 shielded and an E-25. But we don't know where the E-25 is. But I think we can make a pretty good guess where he might be. He's possibly down in the southeast corner of the map. So at this moment, graldebarantauro is trying to get to these trees to get some cover whilst they locate where the E-25 has gone. Hopefully one of them will start capping. Now you may have noticed as well at the start of this game that there was reduced numbers on this one. It is from the South American server. As you can probably see, there are 10 contestants. Was it 10? No, 9 contestants in this game. Oh! And the E-25 has now been spotted. Trying to get a shot on him. He's moving fast. We need somebody to stop him. Oh, he's just killed another of our team. We're down to 3 left. And he does get it close, dangerously close to the E-25. E-25s are just as easy to take out as any other light tank moving fast. They've got to come towards you, an E-25, because of course their gun only points forward and it's got a very narrow arc. So he's actually putting himself in a position whereby if the E-25 does come after him, he's going to force the guy to either come straight at him or come at an angle, but he should be able to get a shot. Now, I think our M41's going to die very shortly, because I think that's where the E-25 was headed. In fact, the M41 is moving towards the tree line. He probably won't even see the tank who kills him. No, he doesn't see him. He dies. So despite the minimap saying that the E-25 is in C2, we know he's not. He's actually just killed the M41 and he's probably headed in this direction. He can see that the Challenger is capping. Now, graldebarantauro can probably get into the cap area just in time before the E-25 turns up, but more than likely the E-25 will come straight along the valley because it's the quickest way to get to the cap area. And if he does come straight along the valley, we'll know exactly where he is. Now, knocking these trees down might actually help in this circumstance because it will conceal, and the E-25's directly behind him. And he fires at graldebarantauro when he should have fired at our teammates, and he's now realized his mistake. Where are you? He's hiding. He doesn't want to come out, but he's made a muck of it because now graldebarantauro can move. Oh, and we capped out. And we put a round into him just before the end of the game. Wow, sacrificial lamb. Well, you might have wondered why I said that right at the end of the game, sacrificial lamb. But what graldebarantauro did when the E25 turned up behind him, the E25 started shooting into Aldebarantauro. He was the sacrifice. And meanwhile, his teammate was capping away quite happily. The E25 realized he'd made a mistake, a terrible mistake, because whilst he was shooting up the Fifi, which of course most tank destroyers like to do, he was missing out on the guy who had the most cap points already, which was our teammate. So as a point, he actually protected his teammate with his body. And then the enemy realized, oops, I've made a big boo-boo here. If I stay out in the open, the challenger will nail me. And so he had to go behind the building. And from that point on, it was almost a decided game. So well done for graldebarantauro for sacrificing his hit points to that E25 to enable the team to win the game. He managed to get a first-class tanker as well as a bruiser medal for getting at least a fighter badge for getting at least 4 kills. He got 4 exactly. He did get a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 10. And his win rate was 3,941, which is super Unicum standard. Even though he didn't get a huge amount of damage or a huge amount of kills for that matter, he actually did win the game for his team by virtue of what he did at the end. Let's have a look at the team score. Well, the highest damage in the game turned out to be that E25. He got a high caliber and a top gun. 2,077 hit points of damage, which was more than 20% of the enemy hit pool. And he got 7 kills. Whereas we can see over here that the highest damage on our team turned out to be the challenger with 1,507. He picked up the invader medal for capping out and getting at least 80 cap points in the process. Whilst you can see graldebarantauro got 1,473, not that far behind him, but the challenger only made 2 kills, and graldebarantauro got 4. The top scorer was, of course, the E25 with his top gun. And when it came to base XP, it's graldebarantauro. He got the top on 2 columns, top on 1 column, whilst the E25 got the top on 2 columns in that game. So he got 1,002, the only player to get over 1,000 base. Second highest, the challenger with 853. And the third highest was, in fact, our Super Chappy with 693. Not the E25, but he did get the highest on his team at 655. He fired 25 rounds, so exactly half of his ammunition. Still had plenty of rounds spare, but he did use his ammo very effectively in the game. He got 12 direct hits on the enemy, but no penetrations at all because, well, they're tier 7 armor, so they're a little stronger than normal. He did get 18 splashes, and one of those was the E25, and he nearly took him out with that round. He got 1,473, of which 1,276 were at more than 300 meters, the difference being the close shots on the Leopard and, of course, the E25. He did receive 1 hit. It was a penetrating shot. That came from the E25, but he actually turned his tank sideways. So he was turning it to face the enemy. But when he turned it sideways, he blocked the E25's view of the challenger. And of course, that protected him with his body. It's almost like saving the president. He flung himself over his protectee to prevent the enemy bullets from reaching the spot that would actually hurt the most. 6 enemy vehicles damaged, 4 killed, and 432 hit points of damage assistance. He got 19 capture points right at the end, and they did cap out, which means that his teammate got 81 cap points, which meant that he just qualified for the Invader Medal. On a premium count, he actually made 118,273 credits on a tier 7 game with an 80,000 mission completion bonus. And he also took away 3,607 experience points out of that one as well. Very, very well played indeed. Let's have a look at the second game by graldebarantauro. The second replay is on the Sand River map, arguably one of my favourites, and he's got some bots. It's a tier 5 game, this one. Yes, you can tell the bots, they're the ones with the colons before and after their name. There are a few of them. It's a rather stately progression. Of course, it's only 28 kilometers an hour maximum speed, but it is a heavy tank, 34 tons in weight. So it does take it a little while to get somewhere. And of course, this was a 1930s design. So you're looking at a design right from the start, before the war, pre-war. Okay. It's a good spot to shoot from here because, of course, you can shoot directly up the river valley. And yes, you can shoot into the dunes as well. We can see this guy in the chappy. He's risking getting hit. Very close. You may remember, actually, this very map with this very Arty was where we have one of our best short videos, which is where graldebarantauro took out an enemy tank to win the game, and it literally, he got a detonation. He set fire to the thing and the guy literally went up in flames. Good shot, right on top of the turret. Do it again. Yep, this time round he tracks the guy, but he fixes the track very quickly and moves off. Oh, he fooled us there. He stopped suddenly, and it actually threw off the shell because Aldebarantauro was working out exactly how far the guy would go. And remember, we've got a 390 meter view range, but we do have this VK a little further on, and so he should be able to spot anyone. There's only 10 either side in this game. Unfortunately, we've already lost a tank. Now we've lost 2. It seems a number of enemy tanks are actually going over the top, so we might have to turn and change direction. But look at this guy here, not really paying attention, and he gets a penetrating shot on the engine deck, and he set him on fire, and he got him. The chappy is gone. He is literally toast now because, of course, he's burnt to pieces. Okay, we can't see anybody coming down the valley because we've got a KV-1 blocking their route. But this guy suddenly gets spotted. Rounds out. Yep, that's a solid hit into the side of the Churchill 1. You do it again. Rounds out. And was that a kill for us? No, it wasn't. The kill went to the VK3001H. Now VK's going down into the valley, and that Type T-34 has suddenly popped up. First shot wasn't fully dialed in, but this guy is more interested in what's going on towards the river valley than shooting at us. And that he didn't move. He's still there. We just fired a shot in, and it hits him. So we're going to do it again. And it's wiped him out. A blind kill. Really good. Only a player who's supremely confident that he can do it will actually fire blind shots into the enemy and get a kill like that. So now it's 4 each side, and the enemy are getting vulnerable. So they're on the attack, but as I say, players on the attack can actually be more vulnerable than on defense. Although tanks that are on defense tend to stay still more often. This guy is staying still, and I think he has moved. Yes, he did. The M7, and suddenly changes direction and gets tracked. Rounds out. And he gets wiped out with the next shot that comes in from the M10 RBFM. So we assisted on that one. Okay, who's next? Well, he's going on the move, even though there's a P43 up in the hills in the north, up in the mountains. It appears there's a Wolverine somewhere on the enemy team shooting at our guys getting hits, because he just took out our KV-1. Now, my bet is that he's in a defensive position near the enemy cap. In fact, they're now indicating F1, which sounds about right, because that's a good spot where he might be able to see the KV-1 and shoot at him with that 76mm gun. The P43 we thought was going over the top has actually returned to his own cap. There's only 4 of them left, so he probably does need to do that. But now we're going to try and blind hit that Wolverine who's probably behind that bush. The shell landed exactly where I would have put it. Didn't get the hit. And in fact, the Wolverine has just killed our VK3001H. We still can't see him. He might not be in that position at F1 after all. In fact, we can see now the enemy T67 who's just down below that spot. So we'll go for him first because it's a target that we can see. There he is. And now the Wolverine has suddenly come into sight. And as he's an experienced killer, we might as well kill him first. Well, the shell lands only a short distance away. But we can probably get the top of his turret if we're accurate enough. We fire one in. No, it hits the rocks. So, wipe out the T67 first. Okay, not enough lead, but try it again. The guy stopped. Fatal. Rounds out. Just missed him, but I think he was he damaged? Try it again. It is a one-shot now. Go for it. Oh, he dies before the shell arrives, but there would have been a certain kill. We've already got 2. There's only 3 enemies left. Be nice if we get some more. No chance of getting a top gun, but we could certainly get the highest number of kills on the game. If only we can get some more. Well, I say that, but the M10 RBFM already has 4 kills. And there is that Wolverine again. In fact, he's come down from the heights. No guarantee that he's going to stay down, though. He may be trying to fox us. We could put 1 round in there. No. Okay, the Bishop on the enemy team. Short range RT. We fire a snapshot in there. It just misses him. But he's now trying to position himself to attack the M10 and the T67. So we're going to fire rounds in. Not just harass him to try and take him out, because he has to remain still if he's going to shoot at us. 3 versus 2. Come on, guys, we need to spot him. Show us the tracer. Oh, we now see where the shell came from. He fires one in. It's nearly there. Now we'll get him with this round. Rounds out. Beautiful. Right on the money. I would say that you're only supposed to blow the doors off, but no, he blew everything off on that one. Okay, who's next? The Wolverine. Now, if the Wolverine had any sense, he'd be sniping as much as possible. We can't see him at the moment. We switch back to... Which round are we using? Intuition suddenly was used there. Oh! Now the Wolverine's just killed another. He just killed our T67. So now it's 2 versus 1. The M10 is down in the riverbed, so he can't be spotted by the Wolverine at the moment. But I'm hoping that he's going to stay down there and keep that Wolverine busy whilst we come up behind him. Don't expose yourself too much, Mr. M10. Here he is. He's coming He's going around us. He's trying to run away. Yeah, and snipe at us. Okay, he's trying to say to him, don't advance. There he is. He knows we're here. Yes! What a shot! That's how you win a game. I have a feeling another short video is probably going to be made about the ending of that one. That was a first-class tanker for graldebarantauro of the FID clan in the Fifi. He managed to get a fighter badge for getting at least 4 kills. He got 4 exactly. He also got an arsonist because he set light to that chappie by putting the engine into the engine bay, setting him completely alight, and turned him to toast. He got a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits in this game. He managed to get 8. And his win rate was even higher than the last game. He got 6,129, even though this was a tier 5 game and the other one was a tier 7. So that's Super Unicum standard. Let's have a look at team score. Well, you can see it was only 5 real players on either team, and that does happen on the South American server, mainly because they've got a shortage of players. But the highest damage in the game actually went to the Wolverine, who got 2,303 hit points, and he picked up the high caliber. Second highest damage was graldebarantauro with 2,049, and the third highest was the M10 RBFM with 1,877. When it came to the highest number of kills, it was the Wolverine again. He got 5 kills in that one, but 4 kills went to both graldebarantauro and the M10 RBFM on his own team, so that puts them joint second. And when it came to base XP, we can see the M10 came out on top, mainly because he was doing spotting. He got 1,243, and then we can see graldebarantauro getting 930. And in third place, it's the Wolverine with 596. If we just check to see how much in the way of spotting, it was only 407 hit points. So, yes, very curious that he actually got a higher base XP than we did. Anyway, let's have a look at the detail. He fired 28 rounds, so again, had masses of ammo, 22 rounds spare at the, 22 rounds spare at the end of the game. 9 direct hits on the enemy, 4 penetrating shots on this one. It was much easier to get penetrations, mainly because, of course, these were tier 5 tanks with less armor. He also got 6 splashes as well. 2,049 hit points of damage, of which 1,798 were at more than 300 meters. 6 enemy vehicles were damaged, 4 were killed, and 132 hit points of damage assistance. On a premium count, he actually made a profit of 41,035 credits from the game. He also got 25 bonds for a mission achievement, and he picked up 7,533 experience points, including 5,580 for completing a mission as well. So 2 really good games where he both gets, both of them were first class tankers. This one on the Westfield map with tier 7s, and then the following one on the Sand River map with tier 5 tanks. And yet he gets a first class as well. 2 good results. Very interesting. I hope you enjoyed them. If you did, please give this video a like, and thank you for watching.